Hello and welcome. I'm Chuck Kahn. I'm a body imager at the University of Pennsylvania, where I serve as professor and vice chair of radiology. I am thrilled to give you a special preview today of the upcoming RSNA Spotlight course entitled Radiology Reimagined, Advancing Clinical Practice Through AI Innovation. This new course will take place October 16th and 17th in Barcelona, Spain. Joining me today is my colleague and our course director, Dr. Nina Kottler. Together, we'll explore what you can expect if you attend this program, which has been designed to advance your understanding of an application of AI in radiology. Welcome, Dr. Kottler.
Thanks for having me. And please call me Nina.
So, Nina, can you give us an overview of what the Spotlight course in Barcelona is all about and who it's designed for?
Absolutely. The Spotlight course is a 2-day deep dive into how end users can practically deploy AI in their institutions. We created the content because there's just a lot of AI products out there, but we're not seeing as many deployed in production. And that means we're not getting that benefit from the lab to our patients. So the focus of the course is to bridge that gap between lab and clinic. We'll do that by sharing best practices through a mix of both didactic and interactive sessions. And that should hopefully give the attendees a clear understanding of how AI is utilized, how it can be deployed, and hands-on experience in validating these tools. You also asked who it's good for. I mean, it's a radiology course, so of course radiologists are going to be a great attendee, but I think it could be applied to anyone in the healthcare space, whether you're in radiology or another specialty. We just happen to be a little bit ahead of other specialties in terms of use. I think vendors and developers would get great insights into the kinds of things that the end user is looking for. And I've even spoken with some investors who are looking to invest in different healthcare entities or vendors. They'd get great insight into what these tools need to do.
To give everyone who's watching a sense of what the course has to offer, we'd like to share an example of the material that participants can expect during the course.
All right, let me take a moment and I'm going to share my screen so that we can look at a couple of slides to go through that. Right now, I'm going to walk through and review sort of a glimpse of how the course was created and how it's blending the expert insights with practical applications. So let's get started, and I'm going to go into our full view so you can see this. So here's the Spotlight course. We've got 6 amazing faculty. You've heard from both myself and Chuck. We also are going to have a couple of 4 other folks who are physicians who have been deploying AI and doing research on it for quite a long time. Dr. Amin Korchi, Dr. Jason Poff, Dr. Eva Sava, and Jorn Yobke will be presenting along with us. So why are we crafting the course the way that we are? Well, it's because of how we consume new technology. And Gartner is an information technology and consulting firm, and they explain it really well through this hype cycle. And if you haven't seen it before, it's really useful to understand the maturity of any new technology. You end up going through this up and down of deployment. So on the x-axis is time and the y-axis is visibility of a tool. It starts with the trigger of the technology. And here we're talking about deployment of or use of artificial intelligence in healthcare. And I'd suggest, at least in radiology, we're pretty far ahead. We're coming up that slope of enlightenment. And it takes a little while to get to the point where growth adoption is fairly significant. They call that the plateau of productivity. And that's because to get there, you need to have best practices that allow everyone to understand how to do it and how to do it at scale. So I thought of creating a list of what these best practices should be. And I use this Z-shaped process chart because it provides a visible insight into what you should do before. So the top part of the Z is what are the things you need to do before you actually deploy an AI tool. The angled part of the Z is what do you do for deployment? And then the bottom part of the Z, which is quite long actually, is what do you do after deployment? And we crafted this particular course to go through as many of these as possible. So let's walk through some of them. So use case identification, Amin's going to be talking about applications and how AI is being utilized. We have Dr. Jason Poff giving a 5-step best practice on how you validate an AI tool, walking through that and giving you metrics that are not the traditional sort of FDA metrics, but clinical metrics that will help understand if your practice is going to accept these tools. We've got Jorn talking about how to afford the cost of AI. No one's paying for it right now. It has to have an ROI. What is that? Uh, uh, Chuck is going to talk about the practical considerations of buying and building and implementing these tools. We also have a couple of lectures about the practice experience and lessons learned in actually deploying AI. We step through the technical model deployment. I'm going to talk about data orchestration. It's a hidden part that most people don't realize and is essential in ensuring that you have a quality output. Bias is a really important topic because we need to manage the bias between the human and the computer system. Jorn will talk about that in terms of how do we train RADs and how do we mitigate the bias, understanding what it is. We'll then have Amin come back talking about continuous monitoring. How do you actually do that? We have to understand the value, all of this. We expect a return on investment. How do you prove that? Like, do you know that you actually got it after the fact? What are the metrics that you can use? We'll go through that. And Chuck will come back to talk about ethics. It's a massive topic and really important, and a lot of regulations that are trying to come out that are starting about this. That is not it. That is like a small glimpse. I will say that we are getting a special bonus, multiple presentations from Evis Sala, Dr. Sala, who's going to talk about precision medicine and research and talk about how diagnostics and theranostics can be combined. We're really excited to have you join us, and we will definitely be seeing you in Barcelona. Before we go, I'd like to just end on saying that we hope you'll join us. Again, the course is taking place October 16th and 17th in Barcelona. Registration is open. There are spots available now, but they're limited. So be sure to go to and register as soon as you can. On behalf of RSNA, thank you for spending the time with us. We look forward to seeing you in Barcelona.